Yo guys, what is going on? It's Lukey here and welcome back to another video. In today's video, I'm going to be focusing on how you can make every single weapon in Modern Warfare have absolutely zero recoil, and I'm just going to be going ahead and talking about some basic tips and tricks on how you guys can improve your accuracy. But before I do get into today's video, if you guys could drop a sub if you do like this video and you guys want to stay up to date, then drop a sub and turn those notifications on, and don't forget to leave a like on today's video. Let's aim for 50 likes on today's video, that would be absolutely amazing. Anyway, the first thing that I want to go ahead and talk about is the kind of attachments that you guys are going to be wanting to put on your weapons. So in this game, there is an absolute ton of different attachments that you guys can go ahead and use, and a lot of these have different perks, different pros, different cons, and yeah, you guys are going to want to go ahead and look out for all of the ones that say they increase your recoil stabilization, they increase your recoil control, your aiming stabilization, all of that kind of stuff. So for example, I'm just going to go ahead and look at the FAL, the FAL, or however you guys want to go ahead and call this weapon. But if you guys have actually used this FAL at the beginning of the game, this gun had an absolute ton of recoil and it was absolutely unusable. Luckily, they did go ahead and actually buff this weapon, and now the accuracy with this weapon is a lot better. But when you go ahead and put on attachments, as you guys can see, for example, this attachment here has recoil control. The first one had some recoil control. You guys are obviously going to want to go ahead and find a nice reflex sight. I recommend using the Cronin LP45 or whatever it's called, that one just there. That's my favourite one to use. And then just go ahead and look. Now for the foregrips or the underbarrels, I recommend using the Ranger foregrip. As you guys can see, it increases the recoil's control, and it also increases the aiming stabilization or stability. So you guys are going to be able to get a very nice accuracy with this. This one right here increases the recoil control. So as you guys can see, just look out for those attachments that have anything good about increasing your accuracy. Now the same with the Odin and stuff like that, and some of the LMGs, a lot of the weapons in this game do have quite a lot of recoil. So if you guys are struggling with a certain weapon, maybe you're trying to get a P90 gold, or maybe you're trying to get the gold LMGs or something, I recommend you guys sticking on some attachments that are gonna make your aiming better. So just look out for the pros that say increased recoil control, recoil stabilization, aiming stability, and all of that kind of stuff, because it is going to help you guys out a lot. The next thing I would like to go ahead and talk about is the settings in this game. Settings are going to be a extremely important thing about getting a good accuracy and making the weapons have less recoil. So the settings are the most important settings are going to be the sensitivity settings, the sensitivity whilst aiming down sight settings, and the type of aim response curve that you have. Personally, I recommend using the linear aim response curve, because this is just going to help you guys have a much better accuracy. Ever since I've started using it, I've been playing a lot better, and I mean like 10 times better ever since I've been using that aim response curve. So once again, if you're going to put an aim response curve on or going to change it, I recommend using the linear option. Next up is going to be the sensitivity. Sensitivity is going to be one of the most important things in Call of Duty to do good and to obviously go ahead and get a good accuracy. Personally, I recommend putting something on in between a 6 to a 10 sensitivity. At the moment, I am currently using an 8.8 sensitivity, so if you guys want to go ahead and copy me, go ahead and do so. Also, underneath the setting sensitivity, there is also a setting called aim down sight speed sensitivity. So this is going to basically make your aim down sight speed sensitivity different. So whenever you are aiming down the sight, it's going to make you aim in and like move around a lot slower or a lot quicker. Personally, it's better to have this slower. I am actually running it on a 0.70 aim down sight speed sensitivity, so I really do recommend you guys using something around that same area. So a good way to do it, they did have this on Black Ops 4 as well, but personally I recommend you guys sticking your sensitivity on about 8.8, and then your aim down sight speed sensitivity, I recommend you guys sticking that on around about a 0.5 to a 0.7. somewhere around that area is going to make you do a lot better, and trust me, a lot of people are forgetting about this option and it's making them do a lot worse than they actually could be doing. So I really do strongly recommend you guys going ahead and changing it. Anyway, that is it for the sensitivity options and the settings options. The last tip I have for you guys is a little tiny tip to do with your analog stick. Now, not a lot of people know this, and it's probably one of the most easiest fixes ever with any weapon that has a lot of recoil on it. So basically, what you guys want to do is apply a little tiny bit of downwards aim to your analog stick. So whatever the direction that you are shooting or moving the analog stick with, this is your aiming analog stick obviously. When you actually start shooting, you actually want to go ahead and apply a little bit of downwards pressure to the analog stick, and this is going to counter any recoil, and you want to go ahead and hold that position until you obviously go ahead and finish killing them. So for example, whenever I see an enemy and whenever I start shooting at them, literally the second I start shooting, I actually apply a little tiny bit of downwards pressure to my analog stick, and this is basically going to counter the recoil, because as you guys know, most recoil on this game kicks upwards and to the left or to the right. But if you simply just press the analog stick down a tiny little bit, it's going to counter this by like a million times. So it's going to help you guys do a lot better, and it's such a obvious kind of technique, and not many people actually do it, surprisingly enough. So I do recommend you guys simply doing that. The last tip isn't going to be a necessary tip, but I do recommend you guys going ahead and buying some Control Freaks. Now, I'm not just saying this because I am sponsored by them. I used to use these. I started using them back in Call of Duty Ghost, and before that on all the other Call of Duties I didn't play with them. But as soon as I started using them, I noticed a big difference. They do really help. If you guys are going to go ahead and use them, then make sure to go ahead and use my code, which is code Lukey. So yeah, that's basically it for today's video though. Hopefully you guys did enjoy. And yeah, make sure to go ahead and subscribe to the channel, leave a like on today's video, turn those notifications on, and hopefully I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.